Hi everyone, welcome back to the Franknut Sewing Machines YouTube channel. My name's Charlene and I work here at the Franknut Sewing Machine shop in Birmingham. Today we're going to be looking at the Bernina L460. So there are two models in the range, but this is the higher model of the two. So first thing to notice is that it has some lovely accessories, which includes the wide table, which is very useful for slightly bigger projects and gives you a bit more space. You've also got a trim tray, which is definitely useful for all those extra cut-offs. I've done a few samples just to show you some of the lovely stitches that the L460 can do. So what you can do is a 3-thread overlock, a 4-thread, and you can also do a wider overlock as well. This is the 9mm overlock. What's quite nice is also the rolled hem feature, which you can do on both the L450 and the L460. So I've done a couple of samples there. So you've got a good amount of stitches, a variety, but what's quite unique to the L460 is that you can actually do a wider stitch width. So we'll just take off the waist tray so we can take a closer look at the micro thread control. So here on the actual machine, you can see that you've got some stitch millimeters here, as well as the actual MTC, which is just here, and it is clearly labelled. So what you would need to do is first of all adjust the micro thread control just here, and then you would change the cutting distance. So as I adjust it, which is a dial here underneath, you can see the arrow is moving across. So you can do 7, 8 or 9, which is the widest. And the micro thread control is actually adjusting the stitch width as you change the cutting distance. So that's very unique to the Bernina overlockers. And if you're doing really bulky fabrics, it will allow the stitch to sit flat and you'll be able to achieve this really nice depth of stitch. What we can do is thread the overlocker up and you can see how simple it is. If we open it up, you can see you do have a stitch guide just here, and it is clearly numbered to show you where to start, and then you're using the colour guides to thread the machine up. Bernina L460 does have an easy lower looper threader as well, so that is such a plus for all overlockers. So we'll start from the top and clip it into place. So it's got the lay-in tension system, and we're just following all of the blue dots. So this is our upper looper, and we've got another blue dot just under here. And then if we refer to the diagram, you can see that the thread just goes through this small spring area just here. And then all we need to do then is thread the eye of the looper. So with all overlockers you do get tweezers, and they are really very useful. My hand is shaking a tiny bit. There we are, perfect. And we just push the thread to the back. And then we will go with the lower looper. So for some people this is usually the fiddliest part of threading, but with the easy lower looper mechanism it makes that much easier. So again, you can use your tweezers for much of the threading. If you've got long nails like me, it can be a bit fiddly. So this is your easy lower looper mechanism here. So you've got a small arrow, and what you do is if you press that, it flicks out a guide here, and what that's going to do is thread the back of the lower looper. So pop it through and then hook it around. I'm just going to move it ever so slightly so I have a better chance of getting to it. And then if we use that lever again, and it threads the back of the looper, and then we just thread the eye of the looper then. There we are. And just put the thread to the back of the machine, just like that. So that's probably the hardest part of the threading. So once that's all complete, you just have to do the 2 needles or 1 needle, depending on which overlocking stitch you're using. So we can close that up. And following the guide down. So we're following the green dot. And popping it into the thread guide. And what this machine actually has is this really handy handheld needle threader. So to use it, you hold the thread across and bring the needle threader, you sort of slide it down the actual needle, and then when you get to the eye of the needle, you push it through and it threads the eye of the needle, just like that. And then with this slightly raised part here, you can go around the back and grab the loop, but like most things, it never works first time, and then pull it through, just like that. And then push the thread to the back. And then the same with the left-hand needle. Bring it down, following the yellow dot, like that, and then popping the thread into these guides. And then we can use our nifty little handheld needle threader again. So just sliding down the needle right down to the eye. There we are. Then using the little hook just to pull it through. It's a really nifty little tool. And there we are. So the machine's all threaded, and we can pop our waste tray back on. Just like that. And we're all ready to go. So what's interesting about the Bernina L460 is that it actually has a DC motor. So what that means is that it has more power at a lower speed. It's slightly more refined, and it works really, really well on all different sorts of fabrics. So what we'll do is a little sample. Now that we've worked so hard on threading it up, we'll do a little sample on our stretchy material. And really, really smooth and quiet. And I'm only just gently touching the foot control as well. We do have a thread cutter on the side. There we are. So that's our 9mm stitch width. Actually, that's turned out really, really well. It's really flat and neat. So again, having that DC motor definitely allows for more control and power. So we definitely would recommend the Bernina L460. It's a great overlocker. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.